Urgent Commanders fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest Commanders news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything NFL rumors. Insider suggests aggressive Patriots trade with Commanders. Would the Commanders and Patriots find common trade ground? The Washington Commanders have been urged to be aggressive in the draft. As for the Patriots, there seems to be a wide range of outcomes. Those two things could meet in the middle, as an NFL insider suggested an aggressive trade between the Commanders and Patriots. This doesn't have anything to do with the first round. The Commanders at number 29 are too far away from the Patriots, a number 4 pick to move up, but they are much closer with the Patriots round 2 pick at number 38. Here's what the ESPN Brain Trust suggested for these teams. The Washington Commanders trade nose bid 29 and 128 to the New England Patriots for nose 38 and 77. Field Yates wrote. A theme of this Patriots offseason has been aggressiveness, as they spent huge in free agency to address several needs. That could continue into the draft, especially if they can fill a critical need with a player late in round 1. Would Commanders GM Adam Peters be willing to move back? This trade is baited well. The Commanders would move back 9 spots but move up 51 spots and into the third round, where they currently don't have a pick. It's likely the Commanders, with only 5 picks overall, would test the Patriots' resolve, and also try to swap their 7th round pick 245 for the Patriots' last 5th round pick 171. But as it stands, the Commanders would likely have a shot to draft Trevayon Henderson, Ohio Saint, at number 38. If he's not there, they could select underrated receiver Jaden Higgins of Iowa State. With the number 77 pick, they could likely choose between Notre Dame cornerback Benjamin Morrison or Arizona interior offensive lineman Jonas Savaiinaea. Edge rusher Nick Scorton could still be on the board too. In any case, they fill a big need with a promising young player that they otherwise would not have had a shot at getting. What they would pass up is a premier cornerback in Maxwell Hairston, Kentucky, Trey Amos, Mississippi, or Azariah Thomas, Florida State. They also wouldn't get edge rusher James Pierce Jr., Tennessee, or Donovan Ezeruaka, Boston College. Also, interior lineman Gray Zabel, North Dakota State, goes somewhere else. With any of those 6 guys, they just get one. But Henderson combined with Morrison is better than just Hairston, and so forth. As for the Patriots, assuming they landed Armand Membu or Will Campbell for their offensive line at pick number 4, they could use the second first-round pick to get a playmaking wide receiver like Emeka Egbuka, whose projections range from mid-first round to mid-second round. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Commanders news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Jalen Ramsey. Trade suggestion has him replacing former first-round bust after it was reported and subsequently confirmed by the team's general manager Chris Grier that the Miami Dolphins were looking to mutually explore a potential trade for all-pro cornerback Jalen Ramsey, the NFL. World went haywire trying to generate a new potential home for the former first-round pick. Amongst one of the more interesting destinations could be last season's surprise NFC runners-up, the Washington Commanders, who are looking to continue their ascension, spearheaded by now second-year quarterback Jayden Daniels, a move that would likely see former, ironically, Miami Dolphins first-round pick back in 2020, Noah Igbinoghene, lose his spot as starting nickel corner on the Commanders' depth chart, which he is currently listed as on NFL Depth Chart Accumulator, Our Lads. The Commanders are a trendy pick whenever a big-name player becomes available via trade, and with good reason. Pro Football Focus Gordon McGuinness writes, "When you have a quarterback on a rookie deal who's already proven he can play, it's time to be aggressive." Jayden Daniels just delivered a 96 PFF grade as a rookie, the second best mark ever by a first-year quarterback, and Washington looks ready to compete now. McGuinness also points to Washington's defensive scheme as a natural fit for the 7X Pro Bowler. A trade for Ramsey also makes sense schematically. He's been most effective in zone coverage, earning a 76, 4 grade in those situations, but he has also held up well in man 70, 0. Adding him would allow the Commanders to keep him on the outside while sliding second-year standout Mike Seinristel into a full-time slot role, upgrading the defense at 2 spots in one move. Whilst other sites have former New England Patriots corner Jonathan Jones as the outside corner opposite Marshawn Lattimore for Washington, Igbinoghene certainly has a punter's chance of making the starting lineup, particularly if Sainristil outperforms Jones on the exterior of the passing defense, keeping Igbinoghene to man the slot. Perhaps with Lattimore, Sainristil, Igbinoghene, and Jones, it may seem over the top to then also trade for Ramsey. But given Jones' age 31, Lattimore's recent performance decline, and Igbinoghene's shaky career to date, Ramsey could give the Commanders a safe pair of hands with which to operate the heart of their secondary. Who does AI think the Commanders should take in NFL draft? A morning roundup of content from the Washington Commanders on Friday, April 18, 2025. Check out what's on Commanders. Com10 says second round draft prospects for Commanders fans to watch Commanders 2025 Mock Draft Madness 9-0A. Look at Commanders roster. Head of NFL draft, Will Harris loves Commanders culture of energy Omarion Hampton could give. Commanders serious horsepower Jalen Daniels hail. Mary TD photo should be in the Louvre full history of the 29th overall pick in the NFL draft. This play convinced Jeremy McNichols that Deebo Samuel has dog mentality. Noah Brown completely ready to go for Commanders sign veteran QB Josh Johnson Commanders 2025 Mock Draft Madness 8-0AL Bellamy receives honorary. Ed Block Courage Award Javen Kinlaw set to be tone setter for Commanders Defense 10 draft prospects for Commanders fans to watch in 6th round Marshawn. Lattimore returns to Ohio State. Roots NFL approves rule changes for 2025 season. Peters explains decisions to trade for Samuel. Tonsil Mock Draft Monday. James Pierce Jr. could have tools to elevate Commanders pass. Rush Commanders granted international marketing rights in the United Arab Emirates through NFL's Global Markets. Program Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. Rumors lead to notable draft prediction last season. The Washington Commanders offense under Cliff Kingsbury had one of the best rushing attacks in football. Led by rookie Jalen Daniels, the Commanders averaged a whopping 149 yards per game, but when your quarterback accounts for a lot of it, that can be problematic. Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez all contributed positively to the offense, but some feel that more is needed in 2025 to take the pressure off Jalen. Indeed, there are rumors that Robinson might be out somehow. With an eye on the Super Bowl, the Commanders might look to add some more firepower to the run game and not have Daniels in harm's way as much. This leads ESPN's Field Yates to take Caleb Johnson in the 3rd round of his mock draft. More backfield depth makes sense for the Commanders, and Johnson would bring a good blend of size and power, Yates writes. His 1,137 rushing yards ranked 7th in the FBS last season. Seen as a bruising runner, Johnson will wear down a defense, but he doesn't do it with pure power. Instead, a more patient style allows him to follow his blockers and wait for lanes to open up before hitting the gas. With Robinson Jr.'s future murky and Eckler entering the final year of his deal, the Commanders have an eye on 2025 and 2026 with Johnson's selection. Adding him to the run game, where he can provide a nice changeup and get chunk plays, could be of value to Washington. He is not the strongest pass protector, which needs work, but Johnson could be a more than viable option in Washington's much-vaunted run game. NFL draft expert urges Commanders to follow rivals' draft blueprint. Defense wins championships. Does it also dominate drafts? The Washington Commanders obviously had enough offense in 2024, evidenced by 91 points scored in 3 playoff games. But in the end, head coach Dan Quinn's defense needed playmakers as it surrendered a whopping 55 to the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC Championship game. With the 29th pick in Thursday's NFL Draft, most experts believe the Commanders will address their defensive needs. ESPN draft expert Todd McShay released his 3-0 mock draft this week and has Washington selecting Georgia safety Malachi Starks. With quarterback Jalen Daniels and the addition of receiver Deebo Samuel in free agency, offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury seems to have enough weapons. Think about like the Baltimore Ravens, McShay said on the Trap or Dive podcast, one of the organizations in the playoffs almost every year. They're always picking in the mid to late 20s or 30s. They are one of the most patient organizations out there, and their patience gets paid off just about every year in the draft, and maybe it's sticking there at 22 or 24, or it's trading back. Just a few spots to a team that's getting anxious, right? And they always wind up with a player you're like, I never thought he was going to be there, and I think now the Commanders, there's like, now you're in this, now you're at the big boy table. Many Commanders fans will cringe at following the blueprint of the rival Ravens, but Washington is as set with Daniels at quarterback as Baltimore is with Lamar Jackson. Time to fit pieces around their stars. I remember talking to Bill Polian, the old GM for the Colts, when he came and worked at ESPN, McShay said. One of his big things was that we had to get pass rushers on that turf. I can remember how passionate he was. We had to have closers, guys who could close the game. Talking to Howie Roseman at the Combine, he said the same way we had to find closers. The Commanders are in a position now that they have their guy, and they can be patient and sit back. If it's an edge rusher, awesome. But if it's not, then we take a player that everyone in the league thinks is one of the 20, 24, 25 best players in the league in Starks, and let's take him and get a difference maker. And now, Commanders fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Commanders. I'll be back any moment with more Commanders news. We want Dallas.